I'm Darren Crooks.
I'm Chris York. And I'm James Oliver.
Welcome to ForTalkSake. Today we're going to be talking about each of our top 10 lists. And whenever I say top 10, it is, for me anyway, the top 10 that I could come up with in about a 10-minute period. So, is it my legit top 10? Probably not.
Top 10 you could come up with while James was in his cupboard.
Stroking a dead person's face.
Jesus, lads, we're not meant to divulge that information.
There.
I thought he meant, like, he literally didn't deny it for a minute.
He still didn't deny it.
No. We're joking, everyone. We are joking.
Call the police on him, somebody, before he does it again.
911.
He took the love of American Psycho too far. Right, so the way we're going to do this today is we'll start with James, go to Curtis, and then go to me, and we're going to say one film each from our top 10 list, because that's the way it is on my screen, so that's the way it's going to work. So, James, what is... by the way, as well, they're not in any particular order. For me, anyway. They're just...
No, they're not. No.
They're just in the top 10. Alright.
You were saying, sorry Darren, you were saying just quickly that it wasn't yours, is more just what you could come up with in like the 10 minutes or so. Mine is like legitimate, my top 10. So, yeah. So we'll start with 8. Yeah.
Why do you love this film so much?
Because everyone wants to know that. For me personally, it has one of the best, if not still to this day, the best shootout scene in a film ever. I reckon to watch one of his movies sitting there.
So do I.
It's American Psycho.
But we're not talking about American Psycho, we're talking about Heat.
I haven't seen that movie in years.
I haven't seen it in absolute years. I've seen it once, and I haven't seen it since.
Mid-2000s I seen that, like.
I'm pretty sure I watched it at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
What?
I think I watched it like 2 o'clock in the morning one time.
I was trying to check there to see if I still have it. I actually don't think I have it in DVD. I'm like waiting for it in Blu-ray. Was American Psycho.
Oh. I have it on Blu-ray.
Do you actually have it? No, I did have it in DVD, but recently I think I lost it, so I'm going to order the Steelbook Blu-ray.
How do you lose a DVD?
I was going to say, how do you lose a DVD player? I mean, trust me, that I don't know.
Right, so is that why you love Heat so much?
Yeah, it has, like, literally to this day, I've yet to see a shootout scene that is topped it. It's fantastic.
Okay. Curtis?
Big shouts. First of all, I'm going to go with my actual top movie, and it's Bad Company with Chris Rock, and why is his name going? Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
Name on my head.
You ever seen it, James?
No. Brilliant movie.
It is actually really good.
I've never seen it until we watched it.
About a year ago. Not even a year ago, a couple of months ago.
A year ago? I'm pretty sure it was like the start of this year, which was only 4 months ago.
Yeah, it was actually January.
Yeah.
It feels like a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's like... I thought, what I said at the time was it felt like one of the better early 2000 thrillers that came out.
Yeah.
Like comedy / thrillers. Because it did it right compared to a lot of the ones that came out that were forgettable then.
Yeah.
So that could be one for you to look into, James, because it is very good.
That's very good. I'm added to the list.
Chris Rock when he is good. My top one, or like my first one is my top one. What'd you say?
Mamma Mia.
Fuck off. Mamma Mia 2, actually, no. The Crow. Have you seen it, James?
No. What? That's another reason why I don't understand how he's our age now.
Because he hasn't seen half these films.
I've seen him recently, like, movies.
Like, James grew up wearing tracksuits with frosted tips. Oh wait, no, so did you, Curtis, never mind.
I was waiting for the punchline. To be fair though, Dan, you're not wrong.
I know I'm not. I've seen your early profile pictures.
Fuck off.
to see them.
No, you don't.
I'm going back. I am.
Nope.
Before we go off this, remind me.
Okay.
Remind me to go back.
No,
Right?
but I love The Crow, and I love the graphic novel that The Crow's based on. And I really wish they would do an adaptation from the actual comic, rather than trying to remake the movie, because the movie is great and should be left alone, because it has a great legacy behind it with Brandon Lee and stuff. But it doesn't capture the comic entirely, truly, if you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't adapt it properly. It changes a lot of things that I think could be done differently in a new film. But I do love the original film.
The thing that I always think about whenever I think of that movie is I went with you to see the writer, so you could get his autograph and then get it tattooed in your arm.
It's really awkward to try and show the camera. There.
He was a nice man, but he was very odd.
He was odd.
It was almost like he was shy. It was like he was shy.
Yeah, but then some artists are like that. I think considering the subject matter behind why The Crow was created to begin with, probably adds a lot to it. But we'll not get into it now because it's too depressing. Yeah.
I
Right.
think you also did not mention it in our review of it.
Probably, but then that was back in the unofficial
back
review
on.
days. That was actually the. Do you know? Our top favorite films was the last ever unofficial review video before we changed to ForTalkSake. Yeah.
So just go back and watch that video.
I know. Although saying it there, it might be a good one for James to watch our favorite films and have his opinion on them.
Yeah.
Right, James, what's next in your list?
Next up, it is the Neon Demon.
Neon Demon.
Yeah.
Seen it once.
Pardon?
Seen it once really drunk, so I can't remember a lot about it.
The Neon Demon. Yeah, it was a bit of it's kind of like a nice wee story behind this, why I love it so much. The soundtrack and the visuals are absolutely fantastic. It's the first film I ever saw at Queen's Film Theatre, and it's the first film which I ever saw with Elle Fanning in it, and I instantly just fell in love with it. So, yeah.
You ever seen it, Curtis? No?
Can't even remember what the name of it was now.
Neon Demon?
Neon Demon.
I don't think you'd like it.
Don't get it. Neon Demon.
I'm trying to think what else the director did, but it's off the top of my head, I can't think.
See, whenever I first went to watch the Neon Demon, I had a sour taste in my mouth from Only God Forgives. If you know what that film is. It was...
I know it. I haven't seen it. I know what it is, though.
It is a fucking awful movie. And it's directed by the same guy who did Drive, and it also stars Ryan Gosling, so I was like, oh great, another outing by them. Fuck, I was wrong. So whenever the marketing and all came out for Neon Demon, that sort of put me off a wee bit.
That's the same director. It's who did Drive as well.
So maybe it wasn't just the marketing for Only God Forgives that put me off.
Curtis?
Is it me now?
Yeah.
My second one, I'm keeping the same kind of era. The Rock. I love that movie.
Oh yes, it stars Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery.
Oh yeah.
And Ed Harris.
It was a great movie, I thought.
It was a really good film. It's one of those classic action films.
It's one of them ones you can stick on, like, late at night, or anything,
Yeah.
like you sitting there, what will watch, I'll stick that on, or anytime it's on TV. It's one of them ones that you will just sit and watch.
It's like who would direct that? Was it your man, fucking Explosions fella?
I can't remember.
Or Jerry Bruckheimer?
Is it the same guy that done Con Air?
I think it is. And
think
Con
this
Air is
is
a great film.
Con Air, yeah.
Yeah. No, but The Rock was really good to go to Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Don't they? They try and stop like these
Yeah.
rogue military guys destroying San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Very good. James is just sitting there blankly.
Have you seen it?
Again, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
It's a great film.
I think it's for a Fred here, like a common Fred.
Have you been living under a rock? Oh. Terrible, I'll log out.
Alright.
Right.
Right, Darren?
Next on my list is Idle Hands. What are you looking at me like that for, Curtis?
Darren loves that movie. Like, every time I go to Darren's fridge to get another glass of vodka, I always see that idle hands thing in his fridge. And it makes me think of that movie, doesn't it? I really don't see what you saw.
Look, whenever Oh, Curtis is gone.
I'm here.
You're not on my screen.
I'm here.
It says you're having connection issues.
I'm not.
Apparently you are.
I'm not.
Well, either you are. Oh, no, you're back.
I'm not.
It still says you're having connection issues, though. Right, it's away now. Anyway, so yeah, Idle Hands. I watched this film back on Res in P4 for the first time. It is an 18-rated movie that has a lot of gore, comedy, and stoner humour in it. I used to rent it from Paddy's video shop, which was in like Newton Arts, and like every weekend I would want to rent this film because I thought it was hilarious and great. So on like P4 Sports Day, I participated. Didn't win anything. Came last most of the time. And while I was doing my spellings, my dad came up to me and was like, Darren, what's your favourite movie? And I'm like, Idle Hands. And he pulls out this DVD, brand new DVD of Idle Hands. And I was like, yeah.
Wow.
And like, I watch it to this day and I just still absolutely love it. Yeah. It's not like any other film I've ever seen before. Still to this day, there's no film like it.
In what way?
In the humour and the way it's done, like the visual style of it and all, and just the way it plays out, there's no film like it to me. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It used to be my number one until I watched The Crow.
So from P4 to P6.
Yeah, pretty much. Legit. Alright, James.
Yeah. Okay, pick number 3 is the founder of all spoof films, Airplane. Yeah. What's not to love about this film? Leslie Nielsen, just a stupid as hell storyline, just really dumb humor, and every time I can just rewatch it as many times as I want, and I'll still just piss myself laughing.
No, it is very good film, so it is. It's definitely one of those late night comedies you can just throw on and not have to worry about.
Yeah, and you can just laugh at it every time.
Can I see the cover again?
Yeah.
Have you seen it before, Curtis?
Don't think so, no.
No?
Great.
See, the problem with those sort of films, I feel like, are you need to be younger to really appreciate them whenever you first watch them.
Yeah.
Curtis, you're not there anymore.
Froze for me as well, Darren.
Yeah, you're a bit laggy as well. Like, on my side, I'm completely fine, but on your side, I could be a bit dodgy.
Next one, Darren, you're having connection. Oh, there you go. Right.
I just turned my Wi-Fi off to see if that works, so I could...
Darren, you disappeared for a minute.
Did I? You disappeared on my screen.
You disappeared for James too, so 2 against 1, bitch.
I turned my Wi-Fi off, alright, it was probably that. Right, no, but yeah. Curtis, what's yours?
My third one is Gone in 60 Seconds.
You really do have a trend going on here.
That's what I'm saying, like, see late 90s, early 2000s, like action kind of, those were my favourite kind of movies.
That's fair enough. Gone in 60 Seconds, I've only ever seen once, but I thought it was really good.
I
Never did it.
I gotta say, do you see? Haven't seen it?
Yeah. Mate, see back in the day, I know I dreamt. I didn't give in those types of films.
No.
What did you get into? What did you used to watch, James?
I think he just woke up in like 2014.
One of the very first films I watched would have been Heat. My dad turned to me and he was like, listen, he gave it to me one day and he goes, listen, you'll love that, stick it on. And I did, I watched it, I was like,
I'm sorry, I took out there. I'm sorry.
What age were you, James, whenever you first watched it?
You don't love
would have been on maybe 14, 15, maybe. See, I never got into horror films until I was at least
Right,
18,
Curtis,
19.
I think your audio is too loud on your phone.
Why?
Because there's an echo there coming through someone's mic.
Well, how am I meant to hear you then?
Just don't turn up so loud.
How's that for you then?
I can still hear myself.
Well, it's not for me then, because I can
I know.
I can hear him turning his down.
Yeah, I can hear that. Right, I can still hear myself, but it's not as loud as it was.
Well,
Might have been me.
You'll be able to hear you all the time.
No, but yeah, Gone 60 Seconds was really good. It was one of the few films that Nicolas Cage's weird acting really paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
On my third on my list is Sin City.
Never seen it.
What?
I love how I haven't seen any of your free picks so far.
I've seen it.
Okay, well.
Fuck off.
I seen it, so I could go with Darren to see the second one. All I remember from the second one was Jessica Biel's dance.
Jessica Alba.
Or is it Jessica Alba?
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba's dance.
Yeah, because the whole
Every time
cinema
you
just
see
went
it,
quiet. Like,
Do you remember at the end, whenever it went quiet, and all you heard was a bunch of men just go, like, breathe?
yeah.
Like, I mean, have you seen the second one, no?
No.
James, you gotta have seen the dance. James was stumbling on it, like,
Right, James, I think you would appreciate Sin City if you watched it.
I probably would, because I do like the art style of it, but yeah, again, just never got around to watching it, so.
Considering it's like adapted directly from the comic books, like they use the comic books as the, what the fuck do you call that? The pictures they use to film against.
No, like the panel sort of thing, or.
Yeah, like, what's the actual fucking term? I can't remember. Storyboards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they used the comic as the storyboards, and that's where they took all the dialogue and all from.
But if Jessica Alba's in it, I mean,
Dude,
can't be that bad, right?
see, in second year, I was obsessed with Jessica Alba because of this film.
So it must be a pretty good dance scene then, I'm guessing.
And the first one is okay, and the second one's even better. Although, saying that there, it's the best part of the second. It's the best part of the second film because the second film's not that good.
no.
No.
Crap.
Alright, James.
Next up, obviously, there'll be no surprises here. The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I really don't need to explain this one like this. I'm a huge Batman fan. Obviously, my tattoos represent that. So yeah, but I remember just watching this in the cinema, and this came out whenever I was like 18 just, and I was blown away by it. I was just like, holy shit, like, just everything.
When that came out?
Pardon?
Were we only 18 when that came out?
2008, yeah. Wait, no, 16? No, sorry, was it 16 then? Yeah, sorry.
Lying about his age?
Yeah, but I loved it. Just Heath Ledger's portrayal, just the story. It's probably the most grounded Batman story that there is out there in terms of the films, anyway. So yeah, and Christian Bale is up there with the best Batman portrayal.
I disagree.
No, I said is up there. I didn't say was.
Nah, he's down there with the worst.
Who's your favourite then, Darren?
Who's my favourite? Michael Keaton. And then Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck?
For Batman vs Superman, because he played both Bruce Wayne and Batman as two separate characters. Christian Bale's performance to me was very stale and very boring watching the Nolan trilogy, and I'm not a massive fan of the Nolan trilogy because the only good film in that trilogy is The Dark Knight. Batman Begins is extremely boring and slow paced and doesn't ever really give you a good payoff. The Dark Knight Rises is full of inconsistencies and shitty story plots. It's unbelievable. But The Dark Knight Rises is the only saving grace for that trilogy, and I think I need to watch it again because I'm really vexed about it since The Dark Knight Rises came out, because I watched that movie in the cinema, came out going, what the fuck was that piece of shit?
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
I was sitting in the cinema, like, twitching and how annoyed I was. I was like, this makes no fucking sense. How stupid do they think the Batman fans are? I was like, how the fuck did he get out? How did he get into Gotham? How isn't his back fucked? What happened to his leg? Fuck Catwoman and her wee mate.
Here,
Sorry,
I'm
James.
halfway though.
I can't believe how old that movie is.
2012.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, 2012 is Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, Curtis, what's
2005
yours?
is Batman Begins.
What?
What's yours?
My number 4 comes as no surprise, but the Fast and Furious franchise.
Cheating a bit like
Nah.
What?
Let me pick one.
No, I can't.
If you had to pick one out of the franchise, which one would it be?
Out of them all,
Yeah.
what would it be? The one I watched the most would probably be Fast and Furious 7.
Why?
I don't know, it's just one of them ones that I can watch over again. I
Do
don't
you
know why.
cry at the end every time you watch it?
Don't.
Been a long day. Is that one, yeah?
Yeah. Do you know what my favourite Fast and Furious film is out of the entire Fast and Furious franchise?
Don't say Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw.
It's a standalone.
I don't know, I'm a Tokyo Drift kind of fan, like, so.
You would be. Or
Disgusted.
you would be. Didn't you ask me there what movie I thought out of them all he'd like? I knew he'd pick up.
The one everybody else hates.
He's probably the only one who's sing.
No, I watched up until like 4, and then I was just like, right, you have a fucking submarine chasing them across ice. I was like, oh man, fuck off, would you?
Well, that wasn't at 4.
5 was that?
No, you're talking about 7. You were watching like 7.
I don't know, maybe I watched up until 4 or 5. I don't know, look,
You
they're
just-
all fucking
They're
shite.
repressed memories now. Do you remember going to the cinema?
Fantastic.
Friends.
1 and 2, fantastic. Tokyo Drift, yeah, great. Number 4, I can't remember. Number 5 was when they fought The Rock the first time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, and no harm. Vin Diesel and The Rock. 2, well, in Hollywood's opinion at the time anyway, both as stubborn at each other. Obviously big macho men. Right,
Like
we can't make either one look bad on film. So let's just beat the living shit out of each other, and then we'll just walk away.
No.
Oh, and also that chase scene in 5, bullshit. Huh, we'll do the old switcheroo. Okay, Toretto, I'll give you 24 hours. Mate, just fucking cuff him then. There you go, series is over. You arrested him. Prison. Boom. Fuck's sake.
Alright, I think I'll go on to mine.
See, I was expecting that from Darren, not you.
Nope, you get it from me.
But then I didn't know you were a Tokyo Drift fan.
See, I know I'm part of the problem. Because I do go and I do watch the Fast and Furious films no matter what.
I remember sitting with Darren in the cinema because he went with me to watch it, but he secretly liked it. And we were sitting watching the scene where he jumped. Dominic Toretto crashes the car into the side of the highway, flies over, and grabs your girl, and lands in a car. And I just thought, don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around. And I turned around to Darren, and this was Darren at me. Just staring at me with his mouth pouting like,
Yeah, because I'm like, what
Any
the fuck
wonder?
am I watching?
like the worst part,
Best.
whenever he done the flying headbutt, remember?
Yeah.
I could feel Darren staring at me and I couldn't turn around.
Just a pile of wank, that's all it is.
No, because I'm pretty sure there was something else in the cinema that I wanted to see. But you're so adamant that we went to see Fast and Furious. So I was just pissed off to begin with.
Always will.
Right.
Can't wait for the next one.
My number 4, which is probably one Curtis might have heard of, but I don't think James has ever heard of, is Detroit Rock City.
I've heard of it, never seen it.
Heard of it, haven't seen it.
Great film. Absolutely phenomenal film. It stands up there in one of those other things that it's a comedy like no other one I've seen before.
Did you not get me to watch it?
I don't know yet. It's the one where the guys go to a Kiss concert.
Yes, I have seen it.
Yeah.
Would it be my top 50? No. You know what though? It was one of them late night movies. To be fair, it was decent. Like, decent.
Like, if I'm to think of a comedy film, that's probably one of the first ones that comes to my head.
Really?
I love it. I think it's brilliant. And I also think the way it's filmed and edited is so fast paced and well done that it tops a lot of the films that came out in the early 2090s.
It's not the movie where his brother's called.
No.
What was that then?
I have no idea. Detroit Rock City?
Yeah, his brother's a cop in it, is he not?
None of them have brothers in it.
Then I'm not thinking of that movie.
Are you just thinking of Detroit?
No. No.
Okay.
Right.
It was a movie, Darren, where the guy, he's in a band, but he's always like covering people's music. And his brother's called.
No, that's Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg.
Ah, yeah.
Completely different film.
That's actually right. Oh, I think I haven't seen it.
Right, well, that's going to be a Friday film. As well as one of my... What?
Have I seen it?
I'm going to do it for Cult Sake video on it.
Is it not where your guy fucked up and he didn't have tickets and they all go their separate way to try
Yes.
to get it?
Yes.
I have seen it. Best game. Would that be my top 80? No.
Fuck yourself. Alright, James.
I may have to relocate soon because my phone is dying.
That's alright, we'll see how far we get.
Yeah.
Yeah, so number 5 for me is A Quiet Place.
Alright.
Yes, it's probably the most inventive, original horror thriller I've seen in like the past 5-6 years. It's really slow, methodically paced, but it just helps build the tension. And like I say, it's just something different I've never seen before.
Isn't it John Krasinski? Is that his name?
John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, who are married in real life.
Yeah. Did he direct it?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Like, is that one of his first movies he directed?
I think it is the first one.
Brilliant.
He directed
Yeah,
episodes of The Office before, but this is his first feature film.
Aye.
As far as I know.
I think it's
Yeah.
good.
Have you seen it, Darren? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a great film.
Yeah. Fantastic. Obviously the sequel was due out last month, but it's now been pushed to September, October, I think. So, yeah. So I'm looking forward to see what they do with it though. Cillian Murphy on board as well. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think.
I just hope it doesn't have sequel syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, just goes like full on balls to the walls and yeah.
Just ruins everything the first film built up.
I think it's because they're going back to the start and showing you how it played out from the beginning, but it appears to be done like in flashbacks almost,
Yeah.
because it shows you in the trailer it's like day one, and then still shows you them like in the present. So I don't think they'll ruin it by just going action based, but it's more like
See,
backstory. I think.
I'm a bit weary about going into it because I always felt like A Quiet Place worked with its mystery,
Yeah.
and I think it should have been a film that should have just been its own movie. No, left up to interpretation of why the creatures were there and what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
But then, it's more of the fact that I don't think a sequel is ever going to live up to people's expectations of, or imagination of what actually occurred beforehand or what occurred afterhand. If you know what I mean?
Like absolutely not. Because like you'd have to come up with a valid reason as to why like you can't just put it like day one the creatures. Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
Like it's good, but you have to kind of go into a bit more in depth. Like, okay, where the fuck did these things come from? You know?
But it'll be interesting to see. I would love to
Yeah, from the
watch it
trailer
and
again.
think that was a great sequel.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
from the trailer again, it does look like it's, you know, everything's kind of normal in the town. It doesn't appear to be in any mode of like crisis or like nuclear meltdown or whatever. So it's like, right, so where do these things come from?
Yeah, it just happens.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll find out in November or October when it comes out. Alright, Curtis.
My next one, I don't know if either of you would have seen it. Shooter. Before it
I
was a TV
haven't
show.
actually watched it.
No?
No.
I
It's
know Mark Wahlberg's on it.
It's one of my favourite films.
Do you know I think I have it on
Yeah.
DVD? Never watched it.
I think it's a brilliant movie. I remember the first time I watched it, I think I watched it 3 times in 1 week. It was that good.
Is it fast paced in that sense?
Yes. Like, I don't know how long it is. I think it must be near 2 hours long. But it's one of them ones that it feels really quick.
Yeah.
Like, it never drags for me.
Because it's, I don't know, I know they made a TV show of it as well.
I tried watching the TV show.
Not good.
I couldn't get into it.
No.
I couldn't get into it. It wasn't the same. It's good for a movie, but for a TV show, I just don't think.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, it was one of those films that just sort of went under the, under the radar for me at the time.
Michael Penna's in it as well. And what do you call it? Is it Danny Glover's in it too? But it is really good, like.
Fair enough. I take it is just a sort of generic shooter, but one that sort of stands out above other ones.
No, it's more like he was a soldier back in the day. He's a sniper. And you know why snipers have, like, their lookout? So there's a sniper and then the guy that tells him where to shoot. Basically, him and his partner got left behind by the government. They pretended they were in a country they weren't meant to be in. Reinforcements came. They didn't get away in time, so they were like, shut this down. We were never here. Left him and his partner to try and get home themselves. So on the way back, spoiler alert, his partner gets killed, who has a wife and a kid coming on the way. So he basically goes back home, quits the army, and someone from the government comes and asks him, there's been like some word of an assassination attempt on the president. Can you come and look around areas of where the speech is going to be and look out to see where you would say if there was a shooter going to be there, where would it be? So he does all that for them, but it turns out it's a setup so that he obviously, they're trying to say he's doing it to get back for them.
I just want to tie up loose ends or something.
Yeah, basically.
Right. Okay. No, it sounds interesting. It sounds like a film I'll definitely have to watch.
You have to. Farted. Jim?
It was what?
What?
It was my door opening.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Back door?
Alright, James. No, it's me now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get rid of it.
Alright. This is a film that I know for a fine well Curtis hates and I never watched it the whole way through. The Devil's Rejects.
I ain't gonna pay what you talking about that one.
The Devil's
Yeah, never
Rejects.
saw
It is.
Absolute tripe.
It's not. You might enjoy it, James, because you have a better appreciation for films than Curtis does.
Yay.
Even though you've seen
That's good.
fuck all.
That's the thing, like, I would honestly appreciate the majority of these films, but I've just never seen them.
Yeah. The Devil's Rejects was the second? I don't know. It was the sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses. It's a film directed by Rob Zombie, the musician.
Oh, I have heard of this, yeah.
Yeah. It is very grounded. It's a road trip movie of 3 serial killers, basically. And they're just absolutely mental. I think Curtis turned it off at one point because the guy says, I'm the devil, I'm here to do the devil's work, and beat some guy's head in.
Is that not your man from that passed away recently, didn't he?
Sid Haig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I remember reading about that. Yeah.
He plays the clown.
Yeah, and then
Captain
it's
Spaulding.
the sequel to that is called Free from Hell, if I'm correct. Yeah.
Which I have on Blu-ray but still haven't watched.
Okay, yeah.
Because
yeah.
I know fine well
I,
Liz won't want to watch it.
I know of them, I just haven't watched them. So.
Out of the 3 films, The Devil's Rejects is the best one. It is good to watch House of a Thousand Corpses beforehand, because it does have some, callbacks.
Like context, yeah.
But if you watch Devil's Rejects on its own, you could get away with not having watched House of a Thousand Corpses. Because House of a Thousand Corpses to me is just like a Rob Zombie music video, but acting instead of music.
Okay, fair enough.
Are you back, Curtis?
Yep.
Alright. Alright, James, what's your number 5? No, 6. Number 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 5 or is it 6?
I think it's
no, it's 6.
Yeah, 6.
Getting confused there. Number 6, we did touch upon it briefly when we were reviewing Prisoners. Sicario.
Never seen him.
Never seen it.
25th. Pardon?
First. Good though.
Yeah, it's fantastic. 2015 was when it was released, and I went in to see it by myself just one night in the cinema. And again, it's very grounded, kind of like FBI. We lost you for a second, Curtis.
Yeah, I got a notification from Strava, and I went to clear it, but I hit it. Where's Darren?
I don't even know where I'm at.
Darren's here.
Darren?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just really enjoyed it. It's a great kind of gritty. It's a great kind of like really gritty kind of cop drama thriller, but not in the sense of like good cop, and then like robber sort of thing. It's more intelligent than that. So yeah, it's just a really interesting watch, and it's the ending. It's one of the endings. To me, I really appreciate a film that has an ending where it's, how can I put it without fucking it up? It's not like it's a cliffhanger, but at the same time, it's more to do with how it ends.
Ambiguous, I think is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, except it doesn't leave you thinking. This one, more it ends and that's it. But it's how it ends. Like it's the scene that it closes on, and then it's the soundtrack that kicks in as it's ending. And for me, that's really what I appreciate most about films. If it gets the kind of music and the scene right, and then ends. Am I making sense in saying that?
Yes, you are. You are.
Yeah, and it just has one of those scenes, and you're just like, fuck, and you're like, that was some powerful shit. So yeah.
Fair play. I'll have to definitely give it a look.
Yeah.
Alright, Curtis.
No judges.
Always.
I don't know why this movie. I only seen it in December there for the first time. That I was like, flip. I watched it about 3 times. Daddy's Home too.
And that's in your top 10?
What?
That's in your top 10?
Yeah. I said.
It's a fun comedy, like,
It was so funny. It was so funny.
I didn't even finish it.
It was a feel good movie. Did you not like it?
Like, I liked the first one, even though I hate Will Ferrell. We had this whole discussion back then about the fact that I don't like Will Ferrell films.
Yeah, we gotta remember that. I love Christmas movies.
Yeah, but, like... Okay. I can't believe that's in your top 10. Like, there's so many better films out there that could be in the top 10 list.
Yeah, but there's far many movies out there that I like, and could very well be up there, but for me, this one, I like it.
Okay. So.
James, you look so old there. Well, you look down there, you look ancient.
Just because he's a
Think
couple
about,
of
like,
months
I
older
was-
than us.
You're about 10.
What are you doing, James?
No, I'm like, I have my DVDs all sitting here, so I'm just trying to get them lined up for you, you know?
Right, well, my number 6 is Casper. Casper.
I'm surprised by that, actually.
Do you know, I think it is one of the saddest films I've ever seen in my life.
That's depressing as shit. Like,
Alex, but good.
It is. It's a really feel-good film for the most part. But whenever you really dig deep into, like, the background sort of what's going on in that story, it's really depressing.
Yeah.
Like, Casper is this child who died, who haunted, well, he didn't haunt, but he was, like, there with his father who was trying to bring him back to life, and it never worked. And then he gives it up for your woman's dad. What?
Were they his cousins?
Who, Fatso and all? No, they weren't even his uncles, they were just spirits that...
No cousins, I thought they were.
No. He calls them uncle. But I don't even think they were just these assholes. That came in and sort of took the house over.
I haven't watched that in years, too.
I love that film. It's one of my favourite childhood films ever. And, like, I love the wee cameos they have in it. Like, they have Dan Aykroyd dressed up in his Ghostbusters gear and all at one point. Run out of the house and he's like, who are you going to call? Someone else. And then he runs away.
I didn't even. I need to watch that again.
And then Eric Idle from Monty Python. He's in it as well. What is Curtis doing?
I think he charges his phone, so.
Yeah, because it's nearly dead.
Nice.
But yeah, no, Casper is definitely on my list. Like,
Nice. Fair.
alright, James.
Back to me. Yeah. I just wait for the cue. I'm like, right, I don't want to jump in, but yeah, number 7. Again, touched on it briefly during our review of The Big Short. No, what's The Big Short? I can't remember. We talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it briefly anyway at some stage. Blade Runner 2049. Yeah. Like I say, I hated the first one. Do not see what the hype or fuss was with it at all. Didn't like it. Maybe it's because I just watched it so many years later. I didn't appreciate what it was. But yeah, I didn't like that. Then the sequel came out, and I just loved it. Like,
1 second, James. Curtis, you're fuzzy.
I'm not.
You are on my
To
screen.
me, Darren, you're fuzzy.
My screen's the one that counts. Alright, James, sorry. Continue.
No, you're right, yeah. So yeah, just a great sci-fi. Again, the score is done by what's his name? He's a really famous composer.
Zimmer?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Hans Zimmer. Yeah, and it's just a great story that's told, and it's also quite sad in parts as well. Well, for obviously like the story itself being sci-fi, it's quite sad. But yeah, Ryan Gosling just again probably one of his best roles, I'd say.
Fair enough. I think the reason I didn't watch this is because I'd seen the original.
Honestly, that were my thoughts. Give it a shot though, honestly. It's long, but it is worth it.
Yeah. I think that's another thing. I was like, I'll wait till it comes on TV or something, I'll watch it, and then I seen the runtime, I was like, nah.
Nope.
I take it you haven't seen it, Curtis? You're sitting there quiet.
No.
Right. I think it was the Prisoners review we talked about it a wee bit.
Yeah, I think it was.
Alright, Curtis.
Number 7 for me is Nothing to Lose. I'd say Darren's seen it, but I don't think James will.
Is that the, like, UFC style one?
What?
Nothing to lose? Never lost, never back down.
What a mix-up, eh?
Got Martin Lawrence.
Oh,
the man
yes.
from
Yeah, it's a good 90s
Man,
comedy.
Tim Robbins. What?
It's a good 90s comedy.
Yeah. And it's got the I'm a scout man. Have you seen it, Darren? Yeah.
Yep, I have.
Yeah. It's a good movie, though.
I haven't.
It is a good film.
Yeah.
It's a good comedy.
Oh. Yeah.
1 second, I'm changing my number 10.
If I was you, James, I would watch it.
I'll add it to the list.
See you in your list.
Daniel keeps getting bigger and bigger.
You say you're going to add it to your list. I don't see any list.
I know.
Oh, it's on my phone.
No, I never back down. It is quite a good film. It is one of those comedies that has, like, if you know it, and you know it well, but if you haven't seen it, you're like, what the fuck's that, you know?
Yeah. Basically, Tim Robbins' character, he is working and comes home, and he thinks his boss is sleeping with his wife, because there's two people in his bedroom, and he thinks it's his wife.
It's the prequel to Shawshank Redemption.
I thought you were being serious. I was like, what?
He walks out because his wife's having sex with someone, but he thinks it's his boss. I don't want to give anything away. So he gets robbed by Martin Lawrence, but because he doesn't really care anymore, because his wife's cheating on him, he kind of kidnaps Martin Lawrence. So, watch it.
Yeah. Hence the title, Nothing to Lose.
Exactly, he's not lose, so he just...
Do you know I only watched that for the first time about 4 years ago?
What?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies.
It is really good. After I watched it, I was like, why have I never watched this before?
Yeah.
Right. So staying on the same sort of theme of childhood films that I think were really good is the Disney Hercules.
Oh, Hercules was a brilliant.
So you're
That's my favourite Disney animation. Still, like
I haven't seen
2D
it
animation.
as a kid.
I love that
I
film.
haven't seen it as a kid.
See, I have a real big
I'm
interest
scared.
in Greek mythology.
What?
I've always had an interest in Greek mythology, so that played a part in my interest in this. And I also love the PS1 game.
I'm scared of watching it again because it ruins my childhood.
See, I thought that, but then whenever I watched it again, still such a great film, and the music is better than most of the fucking Disney songs.
Really?
Yeah. So, I
And
would say...
who's the really famous voice actor in it that does the voice of... Oh, it's
Danny DeVito
not Woody
does
Harrelson.
your man.
Oh, James Woods.
Yeah.
Woods.
He does, fuck me, what's his name?
I know, I can't remember his name either.
Basically the devil, but in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Oh, Hades? Hades?
There you go, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you got him.
Aye.
Yep.
Yeah, he plays Hades. Danny DeVito plays the wee fucking goat fella.
Yep.
And there's a load of different people in it. But no, it's... I don't know if it's underrated or not. Because everybody talks about all these Disney classics, but they never mention Hercules.
True.
What, like 97 or something, maybe?
4? Wasn't that? No.
Was
no.
it earlier than that?
I don't know. Honestly, I can't remember.
Neither can I.
I
I
think
can't
it
even
might
check
be.
my phone because I'm using it. But yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry,
that's definitely it's up there like Hercules. It's out of all the Disney films I could think of, that's probably one of my favourites.
Nice.
Especially the animated
Darren,
ones.
I don't know if it's Darren's camera's fucking up or mine. But
Probably
Darren's
yours.
going for me. James
They're
is
both
still-
fine in my like.
You're fine on mine.
I will continue.
Alright, James,
So,
what's yours?
James is number 8.
What?
Is it your number 8?
Yeah, number 8. Yeah, so my number 8 again. Talked about it briefly or earlier on in one of our videos. Well, at the time of this going out, but anyway, you know what I mean. Yeah, The Big Short. Obviously, we reviewed it, so yeah. And like I say, I have a thing for these sorts of stories that just grip me. And I remember coming out of the cinema, having like seen it, and I was like, and I was fuming, I was raging. But
Did you prefer The Big Short over Vice?
That's a difficult question. That,
Because coming from two people that watch both of them now, we thought Vice was better than The Big Short.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. Like, I love both of them just as much. And
You want to know what? Honestly, without you even saying, I know Big Short already. I can tell Big Short. He likes.
I think it is. Like, it's not that Vice had anything less. Like, it's not that. I don't know what it is. It's because Vice for me as well. Pardon?
You like the story better?
Possibly, yeah. But Vice has one of the best scenes in it, and it was used in the trailer, which I thought was really well put together. It's the conversation that they have, where Sam Rockwell, like George W. Bush, is like, I want you to be my VP, and he's like, you're my vice. Yeah, and he's just like, and it's just, I love Christian Bale just getting in the character of everything. Like, he just, he uses like the mannerisms and all of Dick Cheney, and he's like, and he takes his, and he takes his time, like, delivering a monologue. Yeah, and it's great, but yeah, I have to say I would probably stick with Big Short, to be fair.
I love the scene in Vice whenever they're talking and they're using fishing terms as reeling in candidates.
Yeah.
Or not candidates, but people are going to vote for them.
Yeah.
Alright, continue with your Big Short.
Oh, no, that's all I have to
that
say about it. Like, it's just, I love the story, the cast, and the
Might as well do a
statistics
wee
and all
plug
used.
while we're at it. Watch the review
Pardon?
that we just did.
Yeah.
It'll be up before this video comes up, so check it out.
Yeah.
I'll put a link in the description down below.
Yeah.
Alright,
Like,
Kurt.
subscribe.
Yes.
So me then.
Yeah.
My number 8 would have to be Mrs. Doubtfire.
Now you're talking.
Miss Doubtfire.
Fair enough. Is that your favourite Robin Williams film?
You see, Jumanji was very good, I thought. But as a kid, it kind of scared me.
That doesn't surprise me.
Where I remember, like, Miss Doubtfire, it just brings back so many, like, childhood memories when I watch it. Like, good childhood memories, you know what I mean? So it's like a feel-good movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I said it'd be like my idle hands
Fair enough.
to you. Just, because I remember, like, if you ever watched a scary movie or something, I always stuck a comedy on after. And, like, I would have stuck Miss Doubtfire on. Because it was funny. Short and sweet.
As soon as it starts, you know you're in for a good time. What'd you say?
Short and sweet, just like me.
Is that what your dick is? Short and sweet?
I was gonna say that.
Never had any complaints.
That's because you haven't had anyone.
He's had too many.
Alright. Rude. Who the fuck me?
Right. My number 8 is a film I know both of you haven't seen, and it's Dead Man on Campus.
No.
No, I recently did a ForTalkSake video about it, so I'll link that in the description down below as well. Actually, recently I bought on eBay a legit frame from the film reel. Yeah,
Nice.
and put it in the DVD thing. Because I'm a nerd and I
Wow.
like that sort of stuff.
There, aren't we all?
Speak for
But-
yourself.
You love Fast and Furious, you don't have a fucking opinion.
What?
What?
What'd you say?
No? James, you've got a yellow symbol on you now. That's away now.
I seen that, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, but Dead Man on
Okay.
Campus is
Yeah, no,
basically.
Curtis hadn't met him.
I'm not gonna go too far into it because I talked about it a lot earlier this week in the video. But it's two roommates in college. One of them's really academic. The other one's a complete stoner. The stoner makes academic into his sort of lifestyle, which makes him fail his midterms, which means he'll lose his scholarship if he doesn't buck up. They realize that if they, get a roommate to live with them who commits suicide, they'll get straight A's. So it's this weird, wacky adventure on a basic, dark comedy background sort of thing. Because the subject matter is quite dark. But it is very good. And I definitely want to get both of you watching it at some point to see what you think about it.
Yeah. I'll add it to the list.
Think about this. You see, because of the way things are going at the moment, James, you're going to have to start driving down whenever me and Curtis are doing our movie nights.
Yeah.
Or getting a lift down and having a drink with us while we do our movie nights.
Yeah.
Because the movie nights consist of drinking, watching a movie, going into my kitchen in front of the green screen and reviewing it there and then.
Here, I'm all for that, when all this passes.
It's handy because it's so fresh in your head.
Yeah.
Near the end, when we're pissed and our reviews don't even make sense anymore.
That's the ones that don't get put on the channel.
Yeah.
We usually do one or two, and then we're like, right, we'll wait till next time, and then we'll review it.
Yeah, the last week we never reviewed, because we just always leave it till the next day.
Yeah.
Next time.
No, I can get get dropped down or a taxi down and a taxi home. Just it's no big deal.
Sure, just walk home. You'll be alright.
Fuck.
I'll love it as far as down the Bangarowie.
I don't want to know what you do to me down there, Curtis. So.
That roundabout's his go-to. Alright, James, what's your number 9?
What Darren said?
Okay, so...
Number 9, James.
So, these last two, I can't find them. So yeah, number 9 is Collateral, with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. Released back in 2004. I don't actually have a specific reason as to why I love this so much, because when you think about it, it is the most basic of plots. Tom Cruise is a hitman sent to LA to complete 5 separate hits over the course of 24 hours. Jamie Foxx is the cab driver who so happens to pick him up, and the story just kind of goes from there. It's one of Tom Cruise's best roles, I think, besides his Mission Impossible series, and it's kind of a role you don't really see Jamie Foxx do much of, kind of playing the regular character. The nightclub shootout scene is still fantastic stuff to watch, though. So, yeah, if you haven't seen it, easily just either buy the film or look it up on YouTube and the full clips there.
I'm pretty sure it's a 50p DVD in CEX if you really want to get it.
Yeah, so it also has... Well, actually, no, if I think about a reason why I love it so much, it has there's a scene in it, and again, it's a monologue scene, further on into the film, spoilers, but then again, it is 16 years old, so if you haven't seen it, don't know why. But it's after they escape from the nightclub, and they're on the way to the kind of final hit, and they have this really in-depth conversation where Tom Cruise basically questions, Jimmy Foxx questions, why Tom Cruise hasn't killed him yet. And, Tom Cruise is because, you're good at what you do. And it's just the whole monologue. It's about 5 minutes long. And Tom Cruise comes off with this absolute belter, being all we are is zoned out in our Barco loungers, being hypnotized by daytime TV. And there's a girl that Jamie Foxx meets earlier in the night, and he's that girl, you can't even, have the balls to call that girl. You want to run your own company. It's what the fuck are you still doing driving a cab? And it's just, I don't know, I just love that scene so much. So, yeah.
Fair enough, man. It is a really good film.
Again, it's on YouTube. Yeah, it's brilliant. So, yeah.
No, I think those sort of minimalistic sort of films stick with people more than the big budget films.
Yeah.
So they do. Because you do connect with them more because you spend more time with the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
and it's so quotable as well. I think, or relatable, sorry.
Just go out there killing people and get a taxi.
Or using a taxi to deliver you to the next target.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, Curtis, what's yours?
My number 9 is going to be Con Air.
Fair enough. I can't say anything bad about Con Air. It's fucking brilliant. What are you doing? Oh, Chester.
Look, here it is.
I was like, what are you looking for?
Chester. Con Air, it's just one of them, I guess, yet again, it's just one of them, like, late 90s movies that I stick on, like, I don't know, it's just one of them movies, like, I can watch it over and over again, which to me, like, I love that.
Yeah.
The story of it, do you want to take that? We'll say,
Is that Johnson?
my number one fan, I believe.
Your only fan?
The whole story is, it's like special forces army man. He gets into a bar fight over his girlfriend or his wife. I think it's his wife. And guy with a knife comes at him. He kills him in self-defense, but the guy's friend takes a knife and he gets done for murder. So he spends, I can't remember how many years it is, it's a good few years, like, and he's basically getting out for good behaviour, but on a plane to where he's going to get released. A lot of shit goes down.
John Cusack's in it as well, which is always a plus.
He's the policeman.
Yeah. I like John Cusack. He's probably one of my favourite actors.
It sounds good, actually, yeah.
It is very good. It's very good action. I have a double, like, disc collection of Con Air and Gone in 60 Seconds on Blu-ray.
Do you want to know that?
What a weird pairing.
You're out of here. Con Air and Gone in 60 Seconds. We'll have to watch them all.
Both Nicolas Cage, that's why.
Yeah.
My number 9 is From Dusk Till Dawn.
Would you believe I have this on Blu-ray? I haven't watched it yet.
It's like a combination of two great directors in their prime. Because Robert Rodriguez directs it, Quentin Tarantino wrote it, and also stars as one of the brothers in it.
And the fucking free film.
Have you seen it?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's alright though.
He's a bit of Tarantino's a freak, isn't it?
Yes, he is. He's a pervert, sexual pervert.
Yeah. And the only reason George Clooney is his brother, so that's the only reason.
Do you know this was like George Clooney's first breakout role from doing ER?
Serious?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And then
That's
he
a
fucked
great
it up
role.
after this.
What's your problem with George Clooney?
Batman and Robin.
Here, that was one film, and that was Joel Schumacher's fucking fault.
Didn't mind that.
Of course, you'd have a go at me for it.
Look, I'll defend George Clooney to the death. I like the guy as an actor. Even though he plays the exact same role in every fucking film.
Pretty much, yeah.
But then you can say that about a lot of actors.
Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis
True.
is just Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what character he's playing, it's Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Denzel as well, actually, yeah.
Yeah. Denzel is just Denzel.
Yeah.
Only turned
Yep.
up to 11 or turned down to like 5.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
Fences is like 5. Man on Fire is maybe about 11.
Yeah. Right, so my final pick. If we were to do, if it had been like top 15, I was gonna say Darren Man on Fire would be in there as well.
Do you know what I'm thinking about doing? Is doing another top 10 of our favourite films for our next one. Rather than just talking shit in isolation, we'll do a top 10 before we review stuff.
Okay.
Because our top 10 films are always going to be different from each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be another top 10.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. But for tonight's final pick, it is of course American Psycho.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, no, because we're waiting for it to come up, aren't you? You're like, he hasn't mentioned it
Did
yet.
you choose it because we said it, or is it actually in your top 10?
No, it is actually.
Are you serious?
Everything about this film.
Man,
What?
everything I see, every coat, like, even in that photo, the thingy one, he's wearing his face on his top.
I do have an American Psycho t-shirt, yeah. I have a t-shirt, I have a hoodie, I have tattoos. Yeah, everything about it. Now, originally, whenever I first watched it, I was like, I didn't understand it. I was quite, well, when I say quite young, I was like teenage years when I first watched it, and I didn't get it, and I was like, what the fuck? And then years later, I read the book, and then rewatched it again, and ever since I did that, I was like, right, I love it. It's.
So, do you think it is the book you loved, or the movie though?
No, it is the film.
You didn't love the movie till you read the book.
Yeah, no, it's because I then had an understanding better, because the book isn't like an ordinary book. It's not in chapters. The book is like a stream of consciousness just wrote out on a page. There's only... it's quite hard to read, though, if you're someone who's an avid reader of books, because you don't know when the... Like, say, for example, I read a couple of chapters a night, and then, I'll pick it up the next day. But because there's no break in it, you're like, right, where do I stop and start again, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, and it's done really just... It's brilliant the way it's done, but it is quite kind of draining, because you're like, right, it constantly just switches between settings and people and places, so you're like, right, where am I following it? So yeah, the film leaves out quite a lot of the gruesome stuff in it, which I can only imagine is because it's that vile. All I will mention is there's a head and a freezer, which he performs oral sex with.
Sorbet?
Huh?
Sorbet?
Sort of.
Yeah, in the book, yeah, he basically, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, but the film, I think, it's one of the better, proper, it's one of the better.
I don't think I'll watch it.
That doesn't happen in the movie.
Not now in the film.
That's in the book.
Yeah, but it's more, I think it's one of the
Chili Willy?
better. What?
Talk about Chili Willy.
Who knows, he might stick on a heater for a while.
What?
It's one of the better book to film adaptations, I feel, though. So yeah.
My uncle would disagree with you.
Yeah, I know he does.
I can tell from Justin's comments.
But then he's a cunt
all
anyway, so it's alright.
What?
So he's a cunt anyway, it's alright. He knows he is, but he's our cunt, so it's okay.
Those two films that he recommends, are they actually any good?
Yes, they are good.
Okay,
Quarterfinia is based off of the Who album, Quarterfinia. The Who.
Oh, okay.
And Scum is got a really young Ray... The fuck's his name?
Winston?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe.
Because he told me about them ages ago, and I was like, right, I'll do them up on DVD for you. I was like, oh, cheers. So I'm just wondering, is he only saying that because they're shit, or
No,
are
they are actually good.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Alright, Curtis.
So yeah, and that's my top 10.
Number 10. This one is Monsters University.
Really?
Listen, right. Monsters Inc. was probably one of my favourite movies as a kid. That and Toy Story were they were played at least 3 or 4 times a week. That was my go-to movie. And then whenever I went to see Monsters University in the cinema, I was a bit like, will it be good? It's a kids movie. But like, if you think about it, like they basically followed the people who it was a kids movie, but you could tell the main audience they were going for were people who grew up watching Monsters Inc. Who would be in college now or just out of college. And I just think it was done really well. So basically, Mike Wazowski and Sully. What was his first name? Was it Jimmy O'Sullivan or Jimmy?
I don't know.
Mike and Sully. This was showing you how they became friends and how they got into the Scare. Like how they became like the Scare team. And if you haven't seen it, then where the fuck have you been? James, tell me you've seen it.
No, I've seen Monsters Inc. I haven't watched Monsters University though.
Darn.
It's good. I think it's actually better than Monsters Inc.
Ooh.
Well, you see, to be fair, I think it is because don't get me wrong, I love Monsters Inc. But you see, watching it back, it's very not dense. It's very, not much happens in it.
Yeah. They draw out one storyline really far in Monsters Inc.
Yes. Where in Monsters University, it's just, that's the thing, there's so many characters in it, where I think Monsters Inc., what is there, about 7, 8? Where Monsters University, there's loads.
Yeah.
I think I've seen bits of it.
Kids teen movie. Like, it is like a kids teen movie.
I think I've seen bits of it. I don't think I've sat down and watched it all though, because something is ringing a bell.
Get out.
Okay, bye.
No, it is good.
Right now.
Number 10 for me is basketball. See that?
It's a decent movie.
Yep.
No.
Nope. It's got it's got Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who are the creators of South Park.
South Park, I thought.
And it was directed by the same guy who directed the Naked Gun trilogy, I think. But it is basically these guys create their own sport in their front garden.
Where it's terrible every other sport.
It's basketball, but with baseball rules. So you don't have to dribble or anything, you just shoot. But in the process of that, you can psych out the other person by taking the piss out of them.
Yeah,
so,
Darren, when you say baseball rules, it's not really baseball. It's not baseball, like, obviously, you know.
Yeah. You have to, like, it's like rounders in a way, almost.
Yeah. Rounders, basketball, it's like everything in one, but then they have their own.
But the main part of it is the fact that you can psych someone out. So you have to say or do something towards them to make them miss that shot. And then you get a point for it or whatever. But it's basically just a really offbeat comedy from the late 90s, early 2000s.
I haven't seen years.
It's a great film. So it's one of those films I'll always go to.
No.
Yeah, they've acted in their own films. Like Trey Parker, their first film they ever made before South Park was called Cannibal the Musical, which I know fine well if I was the show used to, you would absolutely hate it. But it holds a special place in my heart because I watched it when I was a kid. They also did a film called Orgasmo, in which a Mormon turns into a porn star to pay for stuff.
What the fuck?
And see, for a film that's based around porn, there's like no nudity in it. It's all just jokes mainly. But it's a hilarious film. And this was all before they made basketball, before they did South Park.
Remember the time you were staying over at my house when we watched, what was it? It was like one of those bunny movies. What was it? What'd you call her? Remember?
No.
It was something funny. It was like taking the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, I Love You, Beth Cooper.
Is that it?
Yep. It's got your woman, Hayden Panettiere, in it, whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah.
Your blonde girl from Heroes, the cheerleader.
Beautiful.
She's on Till Dawn as well.
He had a kid to that boxer who got beat by Anthony Joshua. Klitschko.
Oh yeah?
Klitschko. Like Darren, she is stunning.
Yeah.
He literally gets punched in the face for them.
Money.
Like a punch bag.
What's Hayden Panettiere been in lately?
What?
I said, what has your woman been in lately other than fucking Nashville?
What?
Fuck, I'm not watching this.
Something else. If she watched this, how you doing?
You had no chance.
I want to Tiger shirt and see how you get on.
I will, don't you worry. But yeah, no, that would be my number 10.
My Snapchat is...
The area code for the UK is...
Klitschko, leave me alone.
Right. We're done with our top 10 for this week anyway.
How long did that actually take? I'd say about an hour and 10 minutes.
An hour and 15. Near enough.
No one's watching this.
But I really got to pee, so we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go because I have to walk the dog.
I need to take a major piss. I've got a bottle of wine down me and I'm pissed shit, so. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you've watched this far, then fair play to you. It's been an hour and near 15 minutes long, so.
You just heard metal.
Yeah, you do.
If you've watched this far, comment saying who had the best list.
Yeah, do that. Who has the best films? And if you haven't seen films, or what we talked about, are you going to actually check out any of them that you haven't seen? Or are you just going to call us stupid?
Or why don't you tell us your different ones as well?
Yeah, what's your top 10 that you can think of at the top of your head in 10 minutes or less?
Bet you they're all shite.
Says James.
I bet you right now, James has seen none.
Probably not. Yeah, I can
Probably
imagine
not.
there'll be the real snobby people coming on, like looking on IMDb for the most irrelevant films in the world and going, "Oh, this is my top 10." Bet you never heard of it.
Now, no snobby person is watching our videos.
That's fair.
Snobby person would be annoyed before they...
Here, you never know, because we're so underground, we could be cool.
What do you know about?
We're so unknown.
We are, alright?
We're
We're these three guys that create for the love of it. We don't want your money or attention. We just love the content, alright?
That is true, because if we didn't, we wouldn't be doing it still.
Exactly.
I haven't been gone about
Exactly. Right, time to end the video. If you watched this far, thanks for watching. Comment below if you have a top 10 favorites. If you liked any of our lists, then comment. If you want to check out the website, then go to www.ForTalkSake.com. James does most of the articles over there, but then me and Curtis do a few as well. Mainly me. Curtis does like one or two. He just sits there and be. You pick me off my stride, Curtis. If you want to get in and do an article for our website, then all you need to do is email me at unofficialreview92@gmail.com and we'll get something sorted. Because most likely you'll end up on the website, because the more the merrier. Stay tuned for the next video we put up.
If you email Darren, you're going to be on the website.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you email him, he will get back to you between 4 and 6 days. Because that's what he is.
I'll probably get back to you within about an hour. Unless you email me at a stupid time.
After 10 o'clock at night, he'll not reply to you until 7 in the morning. Because
That's
he's
fair.
asleep.
I have children, so yeah.
He will be replying to you while he has a bottle in a baby's mouth.
Legit.
It'll be 7:54 a.m. That's what he messages. I don't know why, but it always seems to be 7:54. It's like...
That's because when I'm done feeding the baby, usually.
Yeah, but 7:54 on the dot?
Here, it's just that time. And right now it's time
Okay,
to go.
guys, I'll wrap it up here and leave these two to it.
Alright, everybody say bye.
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 I feel like a child. Right, kids, say bye.
That's what I feel like. A parent.
So when are we doing this again?
When suits
Next week.
everybody.
Yeah. Did you get another screenshot of us before we all go again?
Okay. Let me put my phone back up. I'm back.
Darren was like going to get out there. He was like, fuck. Right, hold on.
I was doing it wrong.
Try and get this right. Why is it? Okay, sorry. Hold on.
One second.
Alright, wait, okay. Ready? Okay, cool.
Alright, send it to me. Send it to me so I can use it as a screenshot for the video.